When 2018 began, Hawaii Island's visitor industry was projecting big numbers.
The estimates for arrivals for our island is still to grow at double-digit increase pace.
Ross Birch, the executive director of the Island of Hawaii Visitors Bureau, made this optimistic presentation to the county council earlier in the year.
Expenditures will be on a very similar pace. Actually, that's a very conservative number from the expenditures. As we start getting more and more visitors, the price of the hotel rooms and the price of everything is going to start to go up. So more visitors, we're going to get higher rates. So that 2.71 billion is a conservative number.
But then in May, everything changed. What began as a fissure eruption in Leilani Estates along the lower East Rift zone of Kilauea volcano grew to become one of the state's biggest natural disasters, consuming hundreds of homes and displacing residents. The eruption captivated media worldwide. The forecast for tourism turned around.
First of all, I want to thank all of our speakers for the great information that they're providing our residents and visitors to keep them safe while they're here on the island.
Here is Ross Birch again addressing the national press after the new volcanic activity began.
Some of the things you may need to know from a tourism standpoint is that there is absolutely no reason for, at this time, for visitors planning a trip to the island to change their business or leisure plans to come to the island. Air access into the island in both Hilo and Kona airports are operating as normal. All flights are still on schedule. None of the Hawaiian Islands are affected by the Kilauea volcano except for the remote area on the island of Hawaii, east side, Kilauea Summit, and surrounding areas. From a tourism standpoint and the immediate effects is on the 7-day arrivals, we get a gauge on seeing who's coming within a 7-day period, and those numbers have actually been steady. We're equal to or still slightly above what we were for 2017. We are seeing a little slip in the Japanese market from an immediate standpoint. And the biggest impact to us from the park closure and also the cruise lines choosing not to port in Hilo and in Kona. That equals to about $175,000 per port, or about $1.2 million as of next week through the full cancellations. Other immediate impacts are from the group standpoint. Groups that have canceled for the month of May or through the summer are equating to anywhere between tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands to each property.
The island was now facing an economic crisis on several fronts.
There's a lot of things that are happening.
Hawaii County Managing Director Will Okabe gave this memorable press conference outside Civil Defense Headquarters in Hilo.
But in this particular situation, we do not want to create any panic to any of our constituents or the people of this island. Because we don't want to give wrong messages not only to our island, but to the rest of the country. Because what we're having right now is economical impact as people are trying to cancel their reservations in Kona and other parts of the island. So let me give you a bit of perspective. This is just basically less than 5% of the population or the area in Leilani Estates compared to the rest of the island. It's like having a situation where they talk about Disneyland and they say that, we're going to have something, a catastrophe in Disneyland. So everybody in Colorado, they're going to start canceling all the reservations in Colorado. Okay? It's too far off. I mean, it's not even, people have to understand, we have to send that message. All of you here in the media today needs to send that message that Hawaii County, Hawaii Island is safe. The rest of the state is safe. This is Hawaii Island. This is not Hawaii. See, when they say Hawaii, they think it's the whole state, you know what I'm saying? But to some people, they think that's the whole island too, because we have the same name. So make that very clear as media.
Executives on the Kohala Coast wanted to get the word out that it was still safe to visit.
We really respect and understand the challenges that some of the people near the volcano are going for. That is about 100 miles away from here. As you can see behind me, we have beautiful blue skies, and people are enjoying their life here at Maunalani and all the other resorts here on the Kohala Coast. So we're trying to get that message out that although the volcano certainly has some adverse impacts on local communities down in that location, we are in a totally different location on the Big Island, and actually tourism it's a terrific day here.
But meanwhile, the area of Volcano Village took a big economic hit after a series of earthquakes and explosions at the summit of Kilauea forced Hawaii Volcanoes National Park to close.
The businesses that are directly related to those areas and that have business specific to Hawaii Volcanoes National Park are critically affected, and most of them have laid off employees or closed their doors.
With the area's main tourist attraction off limits, local businesses felt the effects immediately.
That's the best I can tell you right now. I'm not sure.
Business has definitely gone down over the past month. Ever since the eruption down in Leilani Estates, we have definitely seen a constant trend of cancellations coming through. Prior to this whole event happening, our rooms were running probably a good 96% occupancy for the month of February. We will be lucky if we finish up this month with 40% occupancy.
And if something happens like that day or the day before, just give us a call. My boss is honoring cancellations. She's been really great.
The mood in the village, I would say, is a little uncertain right now of what is happening as far as the economy. Guests are not coming, which then people are not going to be spending money. And our employees are getting affected because we're having to cut back on hours. It's all going to be a trickle-down effect. It hits the hospitality industry. I think then it will eventually make its way all the way down to mom and pop places as far as people going out and shopping. Unfortunately, media has really taken this whole event of the eruption and blown it out of proportion for the island, for the state of Hawaii. Where the eruption is happening is down in Lower Puna. We do have ash coming out of the summit, which is not far from us, but many of the guests that are calling to cancel have this vision that the island is getting covered by lava or ash, and there's a lot of misunderstanding that they really don't know what is going on. If they could just be educated where geographically this lava eruption is happening, I think it would be a little bit more comforting for them to come.
Okay, great, Donna. Okay, got you down 11:30 today.
Air quality also became an issue. Ashfall was reported in Ka'u, and in Kona, the fog got worse.
Sore throats, itchy eyes, watery eyes, colds that aren't going away. My daughter, 7 years old, is complaining of headaches. It's day to day.
I've noticed a lot of mucus buildup in my throat, and in turn it makes it hard for me to breathe. I've noticed I try to stay inside more when I see that the levels have gone higher to the unhealthy, or the red, or the orange.
And with the election season upon us, the issue has become part of the gubernatorial debate.
Well, I think first off, what a lot of people have mentioned is that we really need to take control of what's going on in the national media. As you guys know, we are either the number 1 or the number 2 story every night, and a lot of people are still concerned and confused, and they think they're going to get off the plane and they're going to trip on lava because they're not sure where it is or what island it's on. And I think that a lot of national media people have highlighted the fact that we are losing that economic business because we need to make sure that the narrative of the media is correct.
With tourism, like I said earlier, it was really eye-opening to know that the national park of the Volcano National Park is the most visited site in the whole state, more than Pearl Harbor is. So that's clearly something that's going to impact this island and impact those who come to visit. So that's got to be addressed. There's got to be, whether they do an alternative site or some way of getting them into the park. And I was meeting with the Park Service this morning on that specific issue.
It is about promoting Hawaii Island as a destination. We've talked about trying to create a visitor attraction within the volcano viewing area and trying to create a safe viewing area. As Colleen had said, the number 1 attraction is visiting or watching the eruption. If we can work with the parks, the county, and the state and identify a viewing area, we could begin to attract visitors back to Hawaii Island. HTA does have an emergency response fund, $5 million that they can put on the table when the time is appropriate. We need to market traveling to Hawaii Island. I think it's very, very important to do that.
Through it all, Hawaii Island has tried to promote itself as a viable and desirable destination. At least one visitor who spoke from earthquake-stricken Volcano Village was having the time of his life.
Oh, hugely. I mean, I can't understand why people aren't here. I mean, the volcano is over there. Plus, I can't imagine anything happened here. And if it did, they'd get you out of here in a heartbeat. I did go down to the park. I took all these photographs of the different signs, earthquake damage ahead, do not enter volcano due to volcano activity. And for me, that's I'm 67, that's a once in a lifetime thing. Once.
You've also mentioned that you've gone on some tours.
Yes. Okay. Yesterday, I went on a boat tour. Fantastic. Now, I go on boats, but I always get seasick, which is no problem. And I'm fine. This one was a catamaran, and it was great. It was like a roller coaster ride, and everybody enjoyed it. Then we got to the lava flows. It was something I will never see in my lifetime again. I'm 67. And I saw that and I said, hell. Then there's a helicopter trip I'm taking today, but also recommended to the Australians to go to Pahoa. Because in the evening, you can actually see the glow of the volcano, and at night, you can see the eruptions. Plus, Pahoa is like a throwback to the 1960s, the hippie commune village type thing. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this trip.
Anything else?
Well, yes, I'm disappointed. I can't understand why people, are afraid. This place should be jammed. All the places should be jammed. They should be. And I really think they should rethink it and come here.
Now, we just experienced an earthquake. Tell me about it.
Well, first of all, this is their first earthquake, the Australians' first. They didn't know what it was, and I enjoyed watching it, because in California we have them intermittently. But I could tell that this was not a real tectonic plate earthquake and stuff. I don't know. I mean, the first time I was here, I knew what it was. Yeah, and they happen, but to me if we were in a bar in Playa del Rey, California, we would have a free drink.